to talk to Mike Sage. He has been working in corporate America for over 20 years. 24 years. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And has started his own business, a franchise. How long ago? 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah, so we just passed 2 years, January 6th. But definitely been a journey and, love to talk about it.
So I appreciate you coming in to share your story. And we've known for a while now because we go to the same networking group. And the name, it's That One Painter, North Atlanta. So if you are somewhere in North Atlanta, that includes Alpharetta, all the way to Cumming, Johns Creek, Roswell, Duluth. Are you also Duluth, Norcross?
Yeah, so pretty much we can go anywhere. It's just I market in those areas. So Alpharetta, Roswell, Milton is basically my main areas, but I also go to like Brookhaven, Embry Hills, Chamblee, Dorville, Sandy Springs is a big one. Dunwoody, even to Norcross, Peachtree Corners, Johns Creek, all that kind of area.
Awesome. So if you need a paint job or need to fix anything in your home, but more than just a job, you need peace of mind. I want to leave the link and their contact so you can get a quote for them. And awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. And I got something for you. Oh, yes. This is, check it out. This is for you. Yeah, but I want you to keep this as a not a souvenir, but as a reminder of your podcast here.
I love that.
Because not more importantly, but this is your brand. This is, again, North Atlanta, That One Painter. And then again, always have a dream. You always gotta have a dream, even if you think you made it or you're at the bottom. Yeah. You have to always have a dream. It will, in my opinion, it will keep you always trying to get going, and trying to stay humble in a way, because you're always trying to get something. When you feel you achieve everything, I think that becomes an issue. I never been there.
I'd like to feel that at least once.
So thank you.
That's great.
Yeah,
thank you
this
so
is
much.
one. I saw you. I saw you got your own cup, but I got one for you as well.
Oh man!
Because this is all, by the way, given by Sophia's Findings. There you go. Oh, but this one says North Atlanta.
Yes. I love that.
Yes.
Man,
yes.
Great quality.
So again, if you need t-shirt, I want to take advantage of if you need t-shirts, cups for your business, sophiasfindings.com. I'll leave the also on the description, the link. Okay. So let's start off from the beginning. You've been 24 years in corporate America.
Yeah.
That's a lifetime. I mean, it's probably a lot of the people watching right now, they're not even 24 years. But the question is, when you got into corporate, was your plan to stay there for as many years as possible and then retire from there?
I think the major thing, so when I started in corporate America, first of all, I wanted to, I really didn't think of it as corporate America back then, right? I really started just, wanted to get with a great company, something that I could truly take ownership and pride, and do an awesome job. Like I came from a family of just, really hardworking people. So, my dad, my mom, everybody I pretty much knew, and kind of what they teach in school is, hey, go get a job and work for somebody and make good money and see if you can get a pension or something like that, and then make the best of it and move up within that career. And I did do all those things. But I always had this like entrepreneur spirit.
I was gonna ask
and I just
that.
always had something in the back of my head saying, hey, you could really do something, special. But I just never knew like what I wanted to do. Like it was just something that I just could never figure it out that I could make that jump to be able to do that. So, I had incredible leaders throughout my career. Worked for a Fortune 50 company. Incredible leaders who taught me a lot. And I led teams for the last 18 years. So, just all that stuff kind of built into, but that entrepreneurship never went away. So, just one day, I study a lot of leadership books. Follow a lot of great people who have done amazing things, and just wanted to make that jump and do something I could be proud of.
That's key right there. That even though you didn't know what you wanted to, but you always had that in you. Like you wanted to have your own business.
Yeah,
But even after 20 plus years, that's when you got into
yeah,
when did you realize, okay, it's time
yeah,
to, okay, I'm gonna get my own business. Where did you start? How did you end up here, like
yeah. No,
getting this
great
franchise?
question. And I will tell you, until you actually put the one foot forward, next foot forward, next foot forward, you'll never go to that next step. So that's kind of where I started. Was I said, let me just see what's out there, right? So I actually was online looking and went to a franchise business coach and was like, hey, just let me see what's out there. And he brought me back about 4 different options. And that one painter is one of them that I went to. And at first I
That
was
was
like,
one of the options.
yeah, one of the 4
And that
options.
was here in Georgia.
Well, no, it's not here in Georgia, but basically I would get on a call with him. We'd talk a little bit about the business,
He's like
things of
more
that
like an
sort.
agent for
Yeah,
franchise
yeah,
agent. Okay.
absolutely. So there's an agent, they know all about franchises, they know all about, and they have connections with these franchises, right? And franchise business coaches are free. Actually, the company pays them if you sign on. So, that's something that I had no idea about. I thought I was going to have to pay somebody to go find me something. But, I just connected with that one painter. My uncle owned a commercial business for 30 years, a painting business, that I used to kind of work with him here and there. And then my dad also painted for about 2 years. So it's something that I used to go on summer times and like really learned about the business.
Okay.
But that one painter really just connected with me, right? I love the fact that they give back to the community. I love the system. It was just a lot of great people, like-minded people like myself, and everything that they said, their character, their integrity, really matched what I wanted to do. So,
So you had a little bit of background
yes,
where, okay, because that's, sometimes you mention it, I think it happens to a lot of us that you want to be an entrepreneur, but you
yeah,
have no idea what you want to do.
yeah, I had no idea.
So, and that was your case, but then you saw that option, that one painter, and you had a little. So I was that was gonna be one of my questions. That did you have? Do you know how to paint at least? Because I don't,
Yeah,
but apparently you did at least
yes,
somehow. So
yeah,
that's why it kind of clicked, right? So that
yes.
kind of catch your eye,
But
and
the great thing about a franchise, when you buy into a franchise, so what it does is it basically, to me, it takes off 3 to 5 years of learning a lot of stuff that you have to learn on your own. You got to go through tests and
yes,
trials. You got to go through this. Whereas a franchise is more like a community, right? So, look, that one painter in North Atlanta is my own business. Um, Basically, now after I've learned everything that, I went through all the studies, I mean, there's 50, 60, 70 hours. And then there's groups to where if you have an issue, so that's the
groups
beauty
within
within that one
that
painter,
okay.
like
So you
communications and
help
stuff.
each other.
Absolutely. It's a
That's good.
community. And so that's why you kind of buy into a franchise. So it really taught me a lot. So I learned a lot even more just through the franchise,
Okay.
right? So, but that's the beauty of it.
And how hard was it to get approved? And I only tried once to get into a franchise long ago,
Yeah,
and it's basically it's and it's more all about how much you have.
yeah.
But
But they do. So this particular that one painter,
mhm.
they choose you just like you choose them, right?
Oh,
So they don't just pick anybody
oh,
because look,
it makes sense.
if you don't have quality brand everywhere, it's not going to be sustainable, right? So you got to have great people. You got to have team. Because to me, to have a successful business, it's all about your team. Like it's all
Yeah.
about the culture that you create. It's all about the winning attitudes. It's all about um, just appreciating people and building something special. So basically, what I use that one painter for now that I've gotten all the knowledge and everything stuff, is really just the marketing. But other than that, it's up to me how I want my company to be, right? And so we've set a lot of processes, a lot of SOPs in place to make sure that every customer is going to get the same quality customer service and product.
Okay. But now the question I want to go to, it's that it really impresses me a lot. You are still working at your corporate America job.
Sure.
Is that a full-time job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And then you have your business on the side. But for what I understand, how many crews you have?
So we have about 6 crews,
Six crews.
which we carefully pick. So they only paint for us. We don't just go grab random, people to come paint a house, right? So we interview them. We go out on job sites. We do all that before we even bring them on, and then we basically start them off with very, very small jobs. But we're managing, right? We have project managers on site making sure our processes are
Okay.
being done. So we retrain crews, right? Because not all crews do the same thing, but they have to do it that one painter way. So that's why, we offer a 3-year warranty with all our products. Well, every paint job we do is a 3-year warranty. So that ensures that we're going to have the right process, that we don't leave until you're 100% satisfied. So that's the biggest thing, is just we only bring on crews that match our integrity, match that, they're background checked. We all have insurance. We're highly insurance, actually. We do dealerships and stuff like that as well.
When
So
you started that one painter, I'm guessing you started with one crew, or how
yeah,
does?
so you just build up, right? Like
Yes.
as you do your business, right? If you grow too quick, you're gonna have to need a ton of cash flow, and you're probably gonna run through a lot of that unnecessarily, right? So we grew small. We went from one crew to
But
two
then
crew
again,
to three.
how can you still manage having your full-time job and now six? Are are you?
So it goes back to a great team, right? I've got 2 great
Uh,
project managers who handle the day-to-day business. They keep me informed about everything, but I also work a lot of hours, right? Like so Saturdays,
okay.
Sundays,
You
uh,
have to.
I'm working the whole time, right? So doing that, but they're great people. They're professionals. They came from professional backgrounds. One of my project
That's hard to
managers,
find, by the way.
it is, it is.
Good employee. I mean, loyal employees. I mean, good
Absolutely.
employees. Also, it's also hard, but I would say loyal
Yeah.
because you trust them. They are pretty much out there, and you are in your business, and then you
Yeah.
probably work a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night
Yeah.
on the business, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So is the dream to eventually focus 100% on the business?
Absolutely. I mean, my entrepreneurship just gene is not going away. Like I want to do that. I want to expand, but also there is a such thing as expanding too fast, right? I've
Yeah.
known business owners over my lifetime who just try to go too big too quick. Like I want to make sure that what we tell somebody that we're going to do is exactly what we do, right? So if you expand too much, if you get hired 3, 4 people all at one time, there's going to be a lot of mistakes made. So
Yes.
we would never put anybody in that position. So that's the best way to do. So I went from one project manager to now I have 2 project managers, but they take care of everything, right?
So
So
each one of them takes care of like three crews, or each project manager.
yeah, it just depends. Yep. So we're not on site 100% of the time.
The project
Yes, but
managers.
we'll get them started. We'll make sure we're stopping by once a day, make sure everything's smooth. Our crew leads are are keeping us informed. Because our job is really to
Ensure.
network,
Okay.
refer, meet businesses, be a
When
part
you
of the
say
community.
our job, that
Yeah.
means you and
And the
the
two
project
yeah.
managers.
So they're not just project managers, right? They're helping me run the business. These are people I trusted. Luckily, in my 24 years in corporate America, I interviewed a lot of people. I have trained a lot of people. I have built processes, strong processes that made me very successful. And I'm doing that in this business too, right? And how you build processes is, which is one of my main things, is
Um,
if something doesn't work, you've got to figure out how to make it work, right? So doing that, you build a process around that to ensure that you're going to be successful.
okay, that's
SOPs, processes, things of that sort,
but
right?
is this is your first business, isn't it? But you're applying the all your knowledge in building processes into this business,
Yeah.
and that's probably one of the reasons why it's been successful. Because in my case, I'm
Yeah.
the one that you learn with with mistakes.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had to make a lot of mistakes and then learn and learn and learn. So,
Yeah,
but the
absolutely.
point that going back to one of your points is that yes, I had to put a lot of cash and all that. So that's a great a great
Yeah.
thing right there. So,
And in my corporate job,
mhm.
I ran a business, right? I had a territory. I led, anywhere from
Okay,
20 to 60 people. I had budgets. I had things I had to hit. So it was almost, I always treated, it's not just a corporate job. It was my territory, and we're going to be successful together. And I built teams, not for the company, but for my territory and for us to be very successful
that's
because I not only want to be successful, I want the people around me to be successful. And I want them to have control over their careers, right? If
okay.
you go in, so for instance, you just have an employee and they're not doing the best of job and you just kind of let them continue doing that, they don't have control over their career. If somebody has aspirations to do something deeper in life and to move up with a company and to do better for their friends, to or do better for their family, to do better for their friends, to do better for, the people around them, you want to give them the tools to be able to succeed. So I always look at leadership is not about me and what I can do, but how can I help my people succeed? How can I make their dreams come true? And that's really the difference. And if you look at leadership like that,
No, that's
it
an
makes it a
amazing
lot
way to
easier.
see it.
Yeah.
But the question is that you learned that throughout the years in your current job, or that's something that you kind of more or less you had within you, and then apply it in that corporate America job that you have.
So I
And
won't
the
say
reason
that.
I asked
Yeah.
that is because, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
The reason I asked that, and I find it fascinating that you know how nowadays a lot of people say, "Oh, don't work, get your own job, don't even go to university,
Yeah.
start on entrepreneurship and all that." But then I hear your story, and it's like, hey, all those years
Yeah.
make you an expert that right now you're applying all that into your business, and it's you're not rushing, you are, because how long ago again, 3 years, and you already have
Yeah. We're
going to
working on our
four.
third year now.
Okay, and going you're already going to four, six cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, you're steadily growing, but that's because you have all the school within the 20 plus years that you learn. So it's not always bad, um, to go make you go to school. Do you go to university?
Yeah. Georgia Southern.
What was your major?
Just business.
Business.
Yep.
And then I'm guessing you
I
graduated
say
the
just business, but a bachelor's in business. So,
you graduated and went to, yeah,
yeah.
corporate
Yeah.
pretty
Corporate.
much right away,
Yeah.
because that's the only job you had. I
No,
mean,
I've definitely had others
after
going through
college.
college. I've done
Okay.
Walmart distribution centers. So I've done Walmart distribution centers where I've been in summertime loading trucks, landscaping, a
Okay.
lot of difficult jobs. I worked at Sam's Club meat department.
Okay.
one time. Worked for a vending company for 2 years.
Vending?
A vending company. So
Like installing the vending
like
machines or what?
chips, drinks,
Oh,
vending machines.
replenish.
Yes. So
Oh,
stuff like that. But here's what I'll say about leadership. Leadership is not something that you're born with and you're just like, I've got it. I don't need to learn. It's a continued learning thing. So I've gotten so much from the leaders I've been around, from always just reading books. So I'm always looking for new ways and great ideas. So I'm learning. Like I'm not even. I feel like I'm still a rookie in leadership because I always want to have a fresh mindset, right? And how you do that is it's just continued learning, right? Through other people, through great successful stories, through
well,
people
that's
who have
true.
done it and been there, right? So books like Good to Great. I've never read this book, but it is always heard about it my whole career.
Which one?
It's how to influence.
Oh, I read it
Did
like
you?
15 years ago.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. How
By
to
Dale
influence on
Carnegie.
people and
How to win friends and influence
how to
people.
win friends and
Yes.
influencing people. Yes. Wow.
But it's not even about that, right? Because to be a leader, you have got to
Force
work
yourself
on
to
yourself,
learn,
though.
but it has
You've
to
got to
be
work.
you have to
Yes,
force yourself
you
to
do.
learn. It's not gonna come by, oh, today I feel like learning more. I want to
Yeah.
just read the book. I mean, some people like to read. I'm
Yeah.
not that kind of person. I force myself to read. I don't
Yeah.
know. Are you what type of are you the people that like just to read for
No,
fun?
I do a lot of like Audible stuff like that to
Okay.
where I'll listen to it as I'm driving. I drive a lot. Um,
Oh, okay.
but it's not just leadership
But
books,
that's a
right?
new. Well, it's
It,
been out there for a couple of
it's
years now. But
one of my biggest thing is like mindset. There's nothing more powerful than mindset.
okay.
So meaning everybody has a little voice in their head that basically influences how you think, how you treat people, how everything. So your mindset is the most powerful thing in your mind. If in your head you're telling yourself, "Hey, I shouldn't be, public speaking. If I shouldn't be leading crews, if I shouldn't be doing this," things that have happened in your past. Well, it's really all a mindset. Because if you think about it, if you just think, "Hey, I don't like the way I feel when I think like that," right? Um, Change it. You have the mindset to do that. If you change your mindset, you change your life. And there's tons of books about it, but
But that
I can promise you there's nothing more powerful because as an entrepreneur, how hard is it on some days, whether it's cash flow, customer issues, things of that sort.
it's
Like
always something.
there's always something. And
Always.
if your mindset is not right and in the right place, you can either pour a bucket of gasoline on it or you can pour a bucket of water and put it out, right?
Yeah.
You've got two things that you can always do.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
You have to even, I would say, learn how to live your as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and even you know what, your life doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or not. How to live your life with obstacles all the time.
Yeah.
It will,
There's
and if you have
nothing.
the mindset,
Yes.
it will help you. You either see what's that saying? You either see the wall and then get down. I don't know how that's saying, but pretty
Yes.
much is that, or you see the wall and find a solution for it,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Keep going.
But it's hard,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's one wall after
What a
another,
miserable
after another,
life
after
if you're
another.
always highs and lows. It's a
Well,
miserable life. You gotta stay right here.
but that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
sometimes you have highs, high,
Yeah.
and you're like, come on, I need a downhill. What's going on? And
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. And then everywhere you look, it's all, up, up, up. But we know
Yeah.
that eventually you're going to find that downhill that will give you rest.
Absolutely.
But you have
But the
to
most
work. But it's
successful
hard.
people in the world
It's freaking hard.
have the same issues that you've had, but they've been
That's
able
good.
to overcome it. And that's the
Yes.
difference, is like, that's why mindset's so important, is because the most powerful people in the world, and I don't mean by money, by any of that, but people who have gained control of their mindset, that's why they do more than normal people,
That's
because
true.
they have a different way of looking at things then if you don't work on it, then you or I would, right? Like that is the only difference. What's the difference between a Steve Jobs and you, right? He was given a God-given gift,
Well, that's one thing,
right?
but other than that, it was
But
his mindset of
it was his mindset.
yeah.
What did, when I look at Amazon, when I look at Jeff Bezos, like he went and tried to give his corporate job and basically the idea of selling books online, Amazon. And they didn't like the idea. So he said, I'm going to go do it. And look at where Jeff Bezos is right now. So.
Yes, and somehow, and I include myself. Sometimes we hear those stories, and we just think, oh, but they are gifted. They're like special. They are.
Or they came from money, or is
Oh,
given to them,
we
or
make up any
whatever.
excuse to see them in a way that no, I'm not. I'm not gonna be able to do that, to reach that, or be successful as.
But they also
And but
surrounded
again, it
themselves.
comes down to what you're saying. Mindset. It's mindset. You could either see it that way and
Yeah,
stay where you are and do nothing, keep doing or
yeah,
keep on doing what you're doing, or see that and be fascinated by, oh wow,
yeah,
what did they do? Oh wow, it's and they are really not.
yeah. I mean, how many
It's just
stories have you
humans
heard
like
where
us.
people came from nothing
I
and they
lo-
have built
that's true.
incredible lives? Like, look at Tony Robbins' story, somebody that I follow. He's an amazing, I don't know if you've never been to like one of
Speaker, right?
his
No, I
conventions
never
or
been
whatever.
to. I don't know why I'm not
I've never
attracted to
had
that.
so much energy in my life.
Really?
Yeah, he's amazing. I am more of the vision, where we need to go, expansion, making sure we're on the right track, making sure that my project managers, my team has everything they need, marketing. I take a lot of, to me, leadership is taking things off other people's plates so they can be successful, and you kind of handle that. So I am not really the one out there managing the day to day all the time. Like I'm with the appointment center, the marketing, the
Okay.
the business stuff that
Well,
we
you
all
kind
have
of
to
you
do.
kind of bring in the work, the
Yeah,
sales, right?
yeah. And
And
I'm
then
there interviewing people, the painters.
okay,
I'm making sure we got the right people on the bus, right? We got the right teams because that's the only way you're going to be
okay.
successful.
This is a good question for you.
Yeah,
You that have been in corporate America for so many years and
yeah,
now having your own business for a couple of years,
yeah.
what would be your advice for someone either young or that is in, young adult
Yeah,
that wants to start their own business? What
yeah,
will be your advice on how to start? They don't know what they want to do.
yeah,
They want to do. Want to have their own business.
yeah.
They have no idea what to do, what
Well,
to
here's the
get
thing: is
into.
if you don't like what you're doing, it will catch up to you. So first of all,
Oof.
you need to find something that you could not get paid and go do. If you ever find a job that you would go do on the weekend and not get paid for it and get a lot out of it, that's something you're going to be truly passionate about. And that's something that you're going to be very successful, right? Because you enjoy it, you love it. You're not waking up on a Monday morning and saying, why am I getting up today, right? Like you're passionate about it. You got something to go do.
So seek for something that you like to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
even though because you're gonna go to a lot of ups and downs.
yeah.
But if you like it, at least you're not gonna give it up that easy.
But you also know, like, let's say you go to college for accounting, like, you want to be an accountant. There's jobs that kind of go into that. Um,
But not necessarily you
but
like
yeah,
to.
but then if, like, my son's a diesel mechanic, that's what he's truly loved. When he was 14, he always wanted to work on trucks. Like, that's something he was passionate. My daughter just graduated from nursing school. The only
How
person
many
I've
kids you
ever
have?
met, three, only person I ever met that knew what she wanted to do from 2 years old. So that is something she was truly
Wow.
passionate about, nursing school. So, you know, you got to dig deep. You got to try a bunch of different things. If you don't know, go try different things. Learn from successful people. Like Shaquille O'Neal. I was watching this video the other day, and Shaquille O'Neal was, school of forget the name of that. But the guy, he'll just run up to people on the sidewalk and just ask them questions.
Oh,
And
I've seen it. I've
he's like,
seen him.
"What's your secret after basketball?" Because a lot of people after basketball go bankrupt after 3 years,
Yeah.
right?
Well, pretty much any sports.
Yeah.
Like people that make a lot of money during the, and then yeah.
He says, "I steal my ideas from successful people."
I think I saw that video. He's right
Yeah,
outside his restaurant, a pizza
yeah.
restaurant. Yeah. And you know
Because
what?
he's a very
Yes.
successful businessman.
Yes. Because yes. I mean,
Yeah.
he stopped how long ago? I mean, he's been doing a business. He stopped in the 90s, right? Playing basketball.
No, like 2010, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He's been
I'm
in
sorry.
basketball, but Papa John's, Krispy Kremes,
I
there's
know, I
many
know.
other.
He's been investing in
Yeah,
Five Guys. He had, I think he
yeah. He sold
mentioned,
all those, like
yes,
130
but
something.
he's doing something about it. Wow.
But yeah, all those things are important. But you got to find your passion. When you find your passion, you're going to be successful at it because you're going to enjoy what you're
But
doing.
again, if you trying to find, if you like, I remember when I wanted to start my own business. One of the things is, let's be honest, one of at least with me,
Yeah,
one of the main thing that will drive you is how much money I can make or how can I make money,
yeah,
right? You don't really think, well, that was me again. You don't really think about, oh, let me find something that passionates me. I was like, okay, if that business will make me, I'll like it. I don't
yeah,
care. I'll do it. But then again, doing what if you have to find, because nothing will, you won't be able, you won't, any business won't make you money like from one day to another. It will take
yeah,
some time. So if you like what you do, you're not only gonna be patient with the time, but you're gonna do it uh, joyfully and work on it. And then, but did you go to a lot of, oh no, you said that you only went, you contact like an agent
yeah.
for the
So for the franchise,
for the
just to find
franchises,
something.
because I remember I went to a lot of what's it called, shows and all that, where a lot of
Yeah.
franchisees were there, and
But
trying
that
to
look, that company wants to be successful. They're going to set you up for success. That's the
what
whole
company,
thing, right?
the
Any company. So if you go to State Farm, if you go to all those are franchises, right? Um, but they want you to be successful because if you're not successful, they're not successful. So
that's
it
true.
goes back to that. But if you're just chasing the money, and look, everybody's different. If people who just want money, if they go find it, yeah, and they're probably gonna, if they're a good entrepreneur, they're gonna get people who love doing that or can grow that business and stuff like that. And they're gonna kind of get out of it a little bit, right? But I'm talking about your average entrepreneur. You got to be passionate about what you do, or it will. People,
Yes,
you're not going to run your business like you could if it's something that you
you
truly
might
love to
even
do.
be in the business and thinking about something else, like what
Yeah.
else can I do instead of focusing on that
Yeah,
business.
but just like you, I mean, is like, look, you've got to build, if you're here all the time just making shirts, like you're never going to grow and take your business to the next level.
Oh,
Your job is to the vision. That's why you're in networking groups, things of that sort. So your job is to, okay, train people how to do this part because this is the part that's not going to scale you, right? This is the part that obviously makes you money, right? But you can train people to do this
yeah.
while you're out there basically marketing for your company, getting business come in. So guess what? I mean, that's what entrepreneur is because you're taking care of your people. Do you want one of your employees to stay at $10 an hour the rest of their time? No, you want to grow. You want them to grow within your organization
$10.
or they leave,
Who gets ten
right?
dollars an hour
Well,
nowadays?
hopefully nobody, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But that is the important part. You are the business owner.
No,
The
that's true.
business
And you
does
know
not
what?
grow without you, and you've got to somehow take yourself out of the day-to-day business, but still be there, right, for your people
Yes.
and for your
And
team.
that's what
But
kind
you're
of
never
more or
going to
less
scale
do
without
right
that.
now.
Yeah,
So yes, you are, and if it changes in every step of the way, like
yeah,
because you create let's say I'm trying to do sales, me in my case, door to door businesses, that networking groups. Eventually, the plan is to hire salespeople. and then probably instead of me doing that, I manage the salespeople, and then so yeah, as an entrepreneur, you hire people, teach them how to do and then move on. But still,
But you're teaching them a skill.
yes,
Like you're teaching them a skill, and if you
that is
truly
never gonna go away.
never gonna
Even
go
if
away.
they move on or they leave the company, they can apply that somewhere else.
Absolutely. That's all entrepreneurship, and you try to find the right culture, and you make that your priority, and good things will come. But you gotta have the right mindset. You gotta have the right, and look, to do an entrepreneur, to be an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people that can help you out there. So first of all, is anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur. There's SBA loans out there. There's conventional loans out there. Some people take equity out of their house to be able to build a business, things of that sort. So there is money when you go try to find money. There is money. Now, what I would tell anybody is, if you're going into a business, is I don't care what you go into, it's not going to be easy. You got to have cash flow. No cash flow is the killer of businesses. So you always have to protect your cash flow, because it takes a while to really prove to the community that you're doing the right things, that you're out there for their best interests, that you're a part of the community, and you're going to be there for a while, right? A lot of businesses go under.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
It's a lifestyle. But let's say, like right now, if you just come in and you just focus on church, like that's not where your money's coming in.
No,
Yeah, you got to perfect that, but you've got to
correct.
be out there letting people know who you are. You've got to be out there letting people know they can trust you. Like when you see somebody online, like somebody from Amazon could order Sophia Findings on there and get a T-shirt, but they just know the quality of work that you do when you send them a T-shirt. But when you actually shake hands with somebody and you give them your T-shirt, just like you did to me today, like you're going to get repeat business over and over and over, right? So, and that's to me is the most important part of business is making a name for yourself, knowing people can trust you, have integrity, say what you mean what you say what you mean, right? Those are all business. Be organized. Be have the right people in the right
You know
places.
what?
Things of that
So
sort.
force yourself to be better in
Yeah,
every sense of that. And nowadays, in some way, it's easier because of all the information that we have. I can tell you how many things I have fixed at my home.
yeah,
That just let me watch the YouTube video and do
yeah.
plumbing, do this, do that. So we can also learn new techniques, new
Absolutely.
ways to, or even like right now, what we're doing, like giving out um, ideas on how to probably start, what to do, what not to do. At the end of the day, each person has to go out there and get involved. You have
Yeah.
to. I remember, and even though it's really hard, it's hard, and sometimes it's how you say when it's not it's when it's scary in a sense
It
to
is
go out
scary. Yeah.
there and speak in front of, not even public speaking, just speak in front to one person. Hi, my
Yeah.
name is. But I remember I had a teacher, a singing teacher, and he was like, in order to get rid of that fear, you have to face it to
Yeah.
erase it.
Well, and there's a couple other things too, right? Is who you surround yourself with, right? Like your son's here today.
Oh,
Like you
that's
show
true.
you show me your closest five friends around you. I'll show you your future.
No way.
So here's the thing: is like let's say you have very negative people in your life, or people who, when you're around them, they just kind of bring you down a couple levels. You got to limit your time with those type of people. And look, family is family, and you don't want to get too deep. You don't want to alienate your family, right? But you need to lessen your time with them, because it really does take a toll on you. When you're around positive people, aren't you uplifted? Don't you feel better about yourself?
You know what?
Don't you do that? And then when you're around negative people, even if they're friends, they're family, you got to limit yourself. Just like, as if you want to be very successful, like seriously, look at who your friends are. Look at who you hang out with. And I'm not telling you to pick your friends based off of success
Yes.
or
I
money, but But more successful people, you're going to be more successful hanging out with more successful people
true.
because
They
they
envision, they
think
motivate you,
differently.
they push you in a way.
Yes.
Because even when you have friends that keep you down,
Yeah.
they are not even doing it on purpose. Like, oh, let's keep him down. No, that's who they are.
Their mindset is
It's
different than
okay. And I
yours.
remember
That goes back to the
like
mindset.
10 years ago, I used to work for hair salons, sell products for hair salon in the
Yeah.
Hispanic area. And I used to get along with the owners and, very,
Yeah.
speaking about everything or anything. And I remember once that, I don't know, we were talking about businesses, I guess. And
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how, but I mentioned, oh, and make $1 million in sales. I did that. And they look at me like, what? And I was like, I
Yeah.
what? So
Yeah.
I'm not even. That was just a dream. Not even, And they are really pulling me down.
Yeah.
They were not my friends, but they were like customers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And then
But
eventually,
Hamid, you know how common that is? Like
it
people want you to be successful, but they don't want you to be more
more
successful than
successful
them.
than them.
Not only that, but they want to view you. They view you as a certain level, right? And when you succeed that, because even like
But that happens to everyone,
it happens to everybody, but
right?
you have to limit your time because you've got to put yourself with people who have the same mindset, similar to what you want to be, right? Because if you want more out of life, if you're always around people who don't want more out of life, they're completely content here, but you're not satisfied, right? You've got to take care of yourself as well. So what I mean by that is, I'm not telling anybody to alienate anybody or anything like that, but to be successful, when you see success, or like even with me, like, I had a corporate job, very successful at it, won many awards over the years, done all that. But then when I went thinking about entrepreneurship and my own business, like, even family members were kind of like, what are you doing? You've got this, you're like, not
Why bother?
not full support, you know what I mean? And then a couple of friends, they just kind of went away, oh, he's busy now, so like that. But I wouldn't trade anything for anything because I'm doing something
But you
that
also
I am
had
passionate
you
about.
also had friends that were like, oh, that's good for you or
Yeah,
not.
but
But
anybody who has gotten success in their life knows exactly what I'm talking about.
yes.
And even
Well,
you, I mean, like that
no,
that's a
you have to
perfect
give up
example.
your certain life in order to get the
Is
other.
when he knew you as Hamid, oh, he sells me hair salon stuff. But then when he found out you're
Yeah.
actually very successful at it, he's like, whoa,
Yeah,
well,
no.
what am I supporting this guy for?
Yeah.
And that's the wrong way to think. Like to me, everybody in my life, like Hamid, I want you to make as much money, all your dreams to come true, and you should surround your people who truly have your back.
Now that you are mentioning all that comes, or I want to point out how important it is having the right woman on your side,
Absolutely.
because your friends, yeah, well, you can get rid of them, like,
Yeah.
okay, or but
Yeah,
if you
that's probably the most woman, man, spouse,
yes, your
partner.
spouse in our case,
There's
but
nothing more important
sometimes
than
in
the
my
person
case,
behind
and I'm
you.
hoping that you can tell me right now in yours, sometimes my wife has more believes more in me than I
Yeah,
than me, you and me. And
yeah,
I'm like, I don't think she can do it. You have, push it, but you
yeah,
have to be out there.
yeah,
And then she motivates me, and so she can either
yeah,
put me up or drag me down. Like,
yeah.
it's, that's the woman of the power of the woman that I don't think some women realize they have
Yeah,
over men.
and Janae is very,
Like in
very.
your
She's
case,
like your wife. Like
okay,
all she does is
you
anything
can
I
do
ask her
it.
for, she's there for me. So I couldn't ask for anything better.
So when you came up with, you know what, I want to start the business, even though you were
She
20.
was probably my biggest supporter, even
That's
over my kids. She was probably my big. Look, they supported. They just didn't understand it, right?
like, why,
But
right?
Janae, um, understood it, and she knew I was passionate about it, so she wanted to support me, just like I would support her in any dream that she has, right?
So
So
that
that's the person you have in your life is absolutely the most important
the
person.
most important part.
Yes.
I was so what first. So first of all, so the first thing, if you want to be an entrepreneur, find the right partner.
Well, anything in life, not just entrepreneur, because
Anything in life.
think about
Well, we're
it.
talking about entrepreneurship here, but yeah,
Yes.
anything in life. That's
But you
true.
need the right person, right?
Always.
You
Like
need the right
again,
person.
if like if
We only have
that
one
person
life to live.
can even put you up
Yeah.
or down.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of situations where it has been, down. Like the woman or the man is, what are you doing? Why
Yeah.
you're not even capable of, and you believe that,
Yeah.
or us as
But again,
a
it's how who you
parents
surround yourself
to our
around.
kids also. I always
Yeah.
tell my son, I believe in you. I
Yeah.
believe in you.
Absolutely.
And
No,
he's
it's
like,
great. But other than that, I mean, I would say, surround yourself with great people. But even me in corporate, it's steady. It's benefits have killed more dreams than anything else, right? Honestly, it has, right? A lot of people who have entrepreneurship, uh, but they stay there for benefits. Oh, I got my health. It's cheaper here. Da, 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 da. It has killed more dreams than any other thing in the world.
yeah.
Benefits. But with that is I never ever met an entrepreneur that would trade places with me. Right. So that speaks a lot. So
Oh,
entrepreneurship, you get freedom. Yeah, there's a lot of stress. The money's got to be there. You got to have cash flow. But there's something special about doing your own thing and really making an impact on the community. Like, I'll tell you, right now we're looking for nominees for our Paying It Forward program. So it's a thing that we give back to our community. So we're looking for a charity, a nonprofit, or just a family that may be going through a hard time that needs something. But that was one thing, that I really just loved about that one painter. And
okay.
look, this is all me. Like the franchise gets you set up. I use them for marketing for sure, but it's my own business, right? And actually, with our customers, I pretty much, everybody knows there's a franchise fee, right? I pretty much take the franchise fee
Yeah.
out. So I'm competitive. I'm not more money. So don't think that just because I'm a franchise, I'm more money. It's my own business. It's
So
me,
you
Parker,
do
and
have a lot
John.
of freedom within that franchise, because I've heard
Well,
some.
look, there's rules, but look,
I
why
know, but
why buy into a franchise if you're not going to follow the proven structured system that has made them very successful that you bought
correct.
into the first
That's
time?
true.
So why would you
That's
change
true.
up? So McDonald's, when they first started franchising and they started growing pretty big, have you ever watched the Founder? It's called Founder.
I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a great movie. But it actually, so people started doing their own thing. They started selling chicken. They started selling all this other stuff. When McDonald's was already a very successful business, and then people like tenders, so I decided to start doing chicken tenders. It's like, why did you buy into a franchise when you know that it's a proven system? You can be very successful at it,
Correct.
and you can do an amazing job for your
Yeah.
customers. Why would you switch that up?
Yeah.
So don't buy into a franchise.
Because we
That is my
stubborn.
number one thing. Do not buy into a franchise unless you follow what they're doing. So I follow it to a T because I have built processes in my corporate job for years and years, and they're solid processes that make us successful in every category that we need to be successful in. Well, guess that's what a franchise does. Don't buy into that franchise if you don't fully believe in it in the first
That's
place.
true. You know what? And that's actually the main reason people go to
Yeah,
franchises, because it's already a proven system that works.
absolutely. And to me, I
And they
never
even
owned a
show you
business.
numbers, something,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, this is what our best, and this is our medium, and that to motivate you to get into the franchise.
Yeah, but it's all what you build. So that's why, I love getting out, in Chamber of Commerce's. I love
Are you in the
at
chamber and the
festivals.
North Atlanta? Are you
So ABA,
ABA? I know
North
our part of
Fulton,
business.
um,
Which one
North Fulton.
are you?
Yeah, but Wednesday I typically have meetings, so I can't go to the
Okay.
Wednesday. But you got it. It is what you make it, right? Like there's some that one painters that somewhere else. I was actually the first one in Georgia, but
Oh,
there's other
really?
that one painters out there that you know may not fully embrace the franchise, but I bought into it for a
But
reason.
you are that one painter, North Atlanta.
Yes, North
That's
Atlanta.
unique for you, North
Yes,
Atlanta. Okay.
absolutely. And so I was the first one, and actually that one painter just became the number one painting company in the United States
No,
with over 400 locations, not volume, but
no,
that.
but
So
in terms
it's a
of
good
what customer
culture. Yeah,
service and
absolutely.
quality, and then within the company, do they also give uh, uh, give away like or select who is the best franchisee, the best franchise in the states
They
or not?
do. They do mainly. They a lot of times they go off volume and stuff, which is kind of depending on how many territories you own. So I have two territories, but with referral and
Oh,
networking, I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere with a referral. I just can't market in other areas. So that's what's important. So I love it. It truly just fit everything that all the leadership skills that I've learned over the years. All what I want my business to be: the character, the integrity, always doing the right thing, even when it's hard.
so no regrets so far.
No, here's what I'll say: it hadn't been easy, right? Like it's tough, just like your
It's
business,
it's
right?
not gonna be
There's
easy
highs, there's
ever.
lows, but luckily I've had the experience from the past
Hmm.
to be able to see through that and really just always focus on the big vision at hand. And that
That's
takes
great.
time. Like, man, there's so many things out there, like you were talking about earlier. There's so many great podcasts of business owners. Um, you know, I always listen to a couple of motivation things a day because, I want to be inspired as
Stay
well.
motivated.
We all want to be inspired, right?
Yes.
And so Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, I love Gary Vee's perspective on the stuff. Cody Sanchez, I just got done with her Main Street Millionaire book, which is a good book. It's about boring businesses, but like the baby boomers and things of that stuff are getting out of their businesses. So they don't really know that they have a
Okay.
sellable business. So it's Main Street Millionaires because there's a lot of money in boring businesses, right? So just always kind of opening your mind, never be closed minded, just always learn. When you open your mind to what other people have to say and to the learnings that they've had in their lives and hear their experiences and hear the stories and like David Groggins and look, I take all these people like a Grant Cardone or a Andy Elliott or something like that. I take bits and pieces of each of those. I'm not like I'm a Grant Cardone or
Correct.
I'm Andy Elliott, but bits and
You
pieces you have to take from them of the
yes.
goods that they say, and use it as your own and
That's
inspire other
that's
people.
that's what I more or less do as well. I listen to a lot of and then just take whatever I think it's works for me
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then work on it. And then well, that's I mean, we can probably stay here and talk for the next
Yeah,
3-4 hours, man, if you
yeah.
want. But I don't think that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's whatever. I didn't know if you had any more questions, but it's whatever, however
well,
you want to
no,
make
I
this.
mean, I appreciate you coming in, taking the time to share your story, showcasing how it's not always about be an entrepreneur, don't go to college. You have your own story, and it has worked so far for you.
Yeah.
I know you have a beautiful family. Your kids are already they left the house
All of them
already.
have graduated college, yes.
So you're making your dream of having your own business life. So each of us can make our own story, and one thing we have in common, or one of the things that we have in common, is that it's gonna be hard,
Yeah.
no matter what, ups and downs, ups and downs. Um, so
But if
again,
you have the right team around you and you have the
so
vision
always look
and
for
you do the
good
right
people around
thing,
you, either employees or
yes, it
even
makes it
friends,
easier. Yeah.
and especially your
Be
spouse.
careful with friends though.
Be careful with friends. That's
Yes.
that's true. You know
Hiring
what?
friends
I could
is
talk about
I've heard of so many partnerships completely busted They start out with friends jumping into a business,
That's
and
true.
broke
That's
their
a
relationship
whole other
up,
topic.
their
Yeah.
business, their everything. So
Well, thanks again for the time. And if you need fix something on a painting job, fix on something on your house, that one painter, North Atlanta is the way to go, right?
absolutely, and
Awesome.
we offer 3-year warranty on all our work. We truly are the best. We have the best painters with lots of experience, the best team, and we're all about customer service. So we want you to see that one painter difference when we're at your house. So
Awesome.
Hamid, thanks, man. Beautiful warehouse. Love seeing everything.